Donald Trump will meet Benjamin Netanyahu today, but there's a controversial topic we should talk about. It's a scandal involving the leak of false information that could have cost thousands of lives, and you probably haven't heard very much about it. Give me 2 minutes, I'll try to explain. I'm Niall Stanage, the White House columnist for The Hill, and to explain the so-called Bibi leaks scandal, we have to go all the way back to last summer. President Biden then was trying, supposedly, to secure a ceasefire in Gaza. He wasn't getting one. There was a very contentious debate about who was to blame, who was the barrier to that ceasefire being agreed. That debate became enormously more contentious in Israel after the bodies of 6 hostages were recovered at the start of September last year. The hostages had been killed as Israeli forces apparently neared them. The fact that those people were killed and the perception that Netanyahu was intransigent caused uproar in Israel. A major trade union called for a general strike. There were protests against Netanyahu in more than 50 locations. Even Biden himself said that Netanyahu could have been doing more to accomplish a ceasefire. It was very fortuitous for Netanyahu, therefore, that within days a German tabloid, Bild, published an explosive story. That story held that documents recovered from a computer belonging to Yahya Sinwar, the Hamas leader, had shown that Hamas had no apparent interest in a ceasefire deal, that it was essentially trying to string the international community along. When that story was published, Netanyahu then went before a cabinet meeting in Israel and basically accused the protesters of playing into Hamas's hands. And then later, the story fell apart. It transpired that the document did not come from Sinwar's computer. It was written by a middle-level Hamas official. It was not official Hamas policy. And crucially, the document did include the idea that Hamas did want a ceasefire deal, and that was simply omitted from the Bild report. Bild, incidentally, is owned by the same corporation that owns Politico here in the US. This has become a mushrooming scandal in Israel. To cut a long story short, a former aide to Netanyahu is among the people indicted in this case. Netanyahu has always insisted he personally knew nothing about the leak. But what happened just last week? That aide says that Netanyahu did know all along, that the leak was made with his approval. And one final point. When these events were playing out, the official Palestinian death toll was around 40,000 people. Now it's around 71,000. More than 30,000 extra lives lost. Will Benjamin Netanyahu be asked about this during his meeting with Mr. Trump? Maybe, but I wouldn't put money on it.